Facebook, thank you guys so much for coming in and watching the video, whether you're watching it now or whether you're watching it later. My name is Jason Wegford. I'm the studio director of Real Recording Studio, and I'm here with Jason Reeve, who is the CEO, operator, and all that good stuff of
That's a
Freestone
big
Production,
words.
man. Yeah, big words, man.
For a one-man operation.
But you're going to be able to find out what that one-man operation does. Yeah, that one-man operation does a lot over at Freestone. So, Jason, thanks so much for jumping in. So I'm just gonna,
Totally, man.
talk a little bit about who I am. So my name is Jason Wegford. I'm the studio director of Real Recording Studio. I've been here for about, I think, 5.5 years now as an engineer, and about 2.5 years ago became the director of Real Recording Studio. The predecessor of Wiso Ponte was the producer and director here before then. Amazing guy. So that's kind of like who I am at a very basic core element of who I am, what I do. I do a lot more, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So Jason, can you kind of introduce yourself, let people know who you are here and why you're here?
Yeah, so my name is Jason Reeve. I run Freestone Productions, and we run out of a room at Real Recording Studio. I run. I don't know why I said we, but I've been playing music my whole life. Been playing guitar for over 20 years, and recording. It started as a hobby around 2005, and then got into it full time as in 2012. So I've been at it. What is it? 7 years now. Yeah, 8. I guess this July will be 8. So
Congratulations, man.
Ran out of my home studio for a while. So many of you who know me saw my home studio where it was for a while, and been really excited that I've been running out of a much more professional space over at Real Studio for the last year and a half. So.
Yeah, and it's been awesome. So I also do, session work as far as the director. I'm also, a lead recording engineer there. And the decision to take Jason Reef on as kind of like a partner almost, because he rents out a space, but we work really closely together, has just been probably one of the biggest blessings that I could have ever imagined happening to me here at the studio and to the studio and all that good stuff. So Jason, just publicly, I want to thank you for jumping on board with us, man. It's been so amazing, and it's going to continue to be so amazing with what we have going forward, So cool. So Real Recording Studio, let me tell you a little bit about Real Recording Studio, and then I want Jason to talk a little bit about Freestone Production. So Real Recording Studio is a nonprofit, faith-based recording studio. We're a commercial studio, so it's not private. So we rent out to other engineers to come in and record out of there too. We've been in operation for about 9 years now, and we're trying to get us out to the public and let everybody know about who we are and what we do. Because we have a phenomenal space, which you'll see in a couple minutes and stuff. I'm going to do, because we're not obviously at the studio right now. We're at our homes, broadcasting live from our homes right now because of the virus. But we'll give you guys updates on when we're coming back. We are still, just a little throw in there, we are still doing work and taking in work and all that good stuff. So just want to make sure that that's good. My phone doesn't turn off. So, but yeah, so that's who we are. We're a 2,800 square foot recording studio in the smack dab middle of Bethlehem and on the north side, and is a beautiful facility. So if you guys ever want to come by and check it out, just send us an email, send us a text, visit our website, and you guys can schedule a time to come in and check us out.
Yeah, we love giving tours, and we love just hanging around and talk about music. So.
Yeah. Oh man, we could do that for hours. That gets me in a lot of trouble. It gets us in a lot of trouble sometimes. So.
We should be doing other things.
Yeah. We're really blessed by the gear and just the space that we have. Which again, I'll play that a slideshow for you guys in a couple minutes on what the studio actually looks like. But Jason, why don't you tell us a little bit now that they know a little bit about who Real Studio is and the facility? Why don't you tell them about Freestone Productions?
Right. Well, like I said, I started Freestone Productions as my home studio first, but as I've learned to do all this, I've really got a love for taking people's songs and kind of running with them. So what I do as a producer is not only just record stuff. I start at the very beginning and, you know, take the song before we record a note. I will go over songs and put it, you know, make sure everything makes sense, make sure the energy of the song makes sense, make sure the message is getting across, all that stuff. If you have a band, like working together first beforehand, like working through the parts and making sure it's going to be interesting, because one of my keys is definitely making sure that your songs are interesting from start to finish, that you're keeping people's attention, because doing live live shows can be very different than putting stuff on the record, and you have to make sure you're keeping people's attention because you don't have that visual element. So you have to, there's a lot of things you have to think about. And I've really just loved doing that and taking songs and figuring out where we could go. So I in a nutshell, what I like to say is, like, I help artists make amazing records, through, how do I say it? Honest feedback, because that's huge. Because I don't want to be just a yes man and be like, yeah, it's great, let's go. Through creative production, which means seeing where the song could go, helping you put the pieces together and make it better than you thought it could be. You know, in the end, just being creative with it, not just recording something and okay, there you go. And then also through self-promotion resources, because there's a lot of artists out there who they don't have any idea of how to take this song they recorded or this record they recorded and then give it to the world and let the world know it belongs there. And it's, you know, it's kind of marketing. It is. And you have to think of yourself like a business, and that turns a lot of artists off a lot of times. But, you know, I think your music's worth it, and putting it out there and making sure people can hear it and doing what it takes to do that is worth it. And that's the only way that you can even get a return on the money you spend in the studio.
Yeah, that's so true, is thinking forward, man. And I love that you've been doing that. And we're going to talk about how you do that and how you've been giving back to the community in that, man. I think it's so important. And I'm so thankful that you're doing that for the community here in the Lehigh Valley. Because, man, I've seen you take some artists, and I'm sure you're going to talk about some of the artists, but I've seen you take some artists from the very start, you know, and seeing where they're at now is absolutely phenomenal. And, you know, partnering together in that, you know, when you come to either Freestone Production or Real Studio and stuff like that, we take you through the full experience, man, from top to bottom, start to finish, you know, from songwriting to mastering to release. I mean, yeah. You know, Jason is amazing at everything that he does. And it's so good, man. It's so good. I love working with you. And I mean, seriously, Jason Reef at Freestone Production does magic. So, so thanks for that, man. You know, that's who Freestone is. That's who Real Studios is, you know. And I want to give you guys a little tour. So I got like my phone up on the top here. I have my laptop wasn't working, so I put my phone on my laptop, and then over here I have this like little iPad that we're using to switch some video and stuff. And I'm just gonna play like a little video for you as we go forward, just to kind of show you the studio space. So this is gonna run through. So we have our live room A, which is about a 30-foot high ceiling, 30-foot long, and 30-foot wide room. Perfect for drums, and our control room, which has more gear in that now, but fit with slate ravens and a really big, comfortable environment. We have, you know, these slates are absolutely phenomenal pieces and definitely enhance the workflow. A lot of analog gear and a lot of some really tasty preamps. Then we have our vocal booth really quickly, and that's it's nice because it's not a little closet. It's actually a pretty big space to record in. Studio B is a small little editing room that we use. And then the production suite, which is Freestone Productions, who's in there. It's so awesome. All the rooms. I know that was like really quick. You know, I'll play it again, actually. We'll go live again really quick with that. Let's see. There we go. Just to give you guys another thing. We have it on YouTube, so you guys can take a look at that too. We have a lot more amps now too, so guitarists, we got some pretty cool stuff. You saw a Kemper if you guys are into that. Pretty massive mic collection too. You know, we have Genelex, Adams, all the gear. I'm a huge gear nut. I mean, I love gear, and I love the tools that we have to use to steward your music as you come to Real Studio to record. We have such a wide palette, man. With the combination of Jason Reef's studio equipment and with Real Studios, it's pretty massive. and you can see that massive guitar collection with Freestone too is pretty awesome. So yeah, it's a really cool space, and again, we encourage you guys to come over and check it out and stuff like that too whenever you want. It's really awesome. So I want to talk a little bit about how, really what our mission statement is here at Real Studio, and how we've been giving back into the community, and how Jason Reith with Freestone Production has been too. We're actually a nonprofit recording studio. I know I mentioned that at the beginning, and our mission statement, as you could say, and this goes broader than that. My cable, but it goes a little broader than this. But we want to have a place where Christian artists can come to make music that makes God famous. That's like our main mission statement when it comes to the music. And we also work with a bunch of different other artists, voiceovers, businesses, jingles, all that good stuff. But we're actually a nonprofit ministry from the church that's upstairs. The Center Lehigh Valley is I guess like the head of Real Studio, the actual facility, because we're actually located underneath TCLV, or the Central Lehigh Valley, and we've just been doing some really awesome stuff. And looking forward, we're gonna talk about this a little bit later, but we have a couple ventures that Real Studios is going to be doing to give the community, the music community in the Lehigh Valley, an edge over some other communities, because again, we're all about giving back. And Jason Reith has been doing some awesome stuff too, as far as giving back to the music community. So Jason, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you kind of have been brewing? And I know you just launched a little book, a PDF book and stuff like that for artists and everything. So why don't you tell us a little bit about all that kind of stuff, man?
Yeah, sure. So kind of like I said, like part of what I'm doing is what I want to do is also help artists promote themselves better. And I've been taking this time where we haven't been able to work too much to gather some resources. I've been doing some interviews. I finally finished up a small ebook that's kind of like, I call it my indie artist startup guide, which is just like some of the basic stuff you have to think about. Mindset, like where do you want to go, but how to think about it. And it's kind of setting yourself up for success from the very beginning as an artist for promoting yourself. I've also got a resource called Keeping Your Vocals Killer for a Killer Session, which is just a compilation of all these different vocal techniques I've heard people talk about throughout the years. I also, coming from my father, who was a choir director and a music teacher, I've got a whole bunch of really great tips for keeping your voice healthy and for keeping your mind right for a session and all that kind of stuff too. I've also been doing some interviews over the break, some like interviews. I've interviewed Kyle Reed, who's a digital marketing. I called him a guru because he knows what he's talking about. But he works solely with artists. He was working for, I think he said, Provident Music Group for a good while. That's wow. A major Christian record label, and then left to start doing the marketing thing on his own. So he's been doing that for a while, and he's got amazing, lots of really good tips on stuff. And he's super accessible too. If you find him on Instagram, you can he was giving away like free Instagram profile reviews and things like that. I called him up. I said, hey, I'm interested in doing better on Instagram. I'm not an artist, but what do you think about me? And we just talked for like an hour, and it was really cool. So he's got plans, he's got stuff where you can just talk for an hour and pay him, and he can give you some really great tips, or you can go on retainer with him. He can do like everything for you. So he's a really, really cool guy. I also did an email interview with a lady named Laura Bull, who was, for 10 years, she was one of the marketing execs at Sony. And she is like the person to go for about artist branding. And she just finished up a book called From Individual to Empire, which is all about branding for anybody, but her specific is artists, is musicians, and she's worked with some of the top names. So I've got that's kind of stuff that I've been doing, and I'm putting that kind of stuff out free on my website, just so everybody can glean from it. Everybody can get some information on being better artists, promoting yourselves, doing the business of being an artist. And then, if you ever, for the people who work with me, I have some more intense stuff that I give you once we start working together. stuff about promoting yourself. I'm coming up with a 365-day content calendar for artists. I'm just starting to work on that because a lot of, there's, you get on, you're like, I have to promote myself on social media, but how do I do it? Like, what am I supposed to say every day? So I'm just trying to come up with things to help you get along more and to get where you need to go, and not just send people out the door with a song and say, see ya. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And also, since we've been on this break, I've been just, saying, hey, anybody writing songs, and can I help you out? Like, can I review your song for you, give you some ideas, or, and it's been really cool to just some random artists in the App Valley have been sending me their songs, and I've been listening to them, giving them some tips, just kind of treating them like they wanted to work with me, even though they didn't say that. But it's just like, this is the same. I was giving them the same feedback that I would have if with someone who I was going to record. So it's been really cool to do that for free and just kind of give back to the local music community in that way too.
Wow, that's awesome, man. I know the whole Lehigh Valley is so thankful for you for doing these things, man. I mean, and you can see I've worked side by side with you for a while now, man. Like, and I can honestly say, like, dude, what you have been doing, you're very gifted at what you're doing, man. So, if anybody's watching and kind of like on the bullet of like, should I kind of like start showing my music to people? I would definitely take Jason Reef up on his offer of doing that. Anybody who's even like slightly there, or even if you just like have a little song and you just record it into your iPhone. Brian Medlin, I've seen you take just audio files on a iPhone and make them this beautiful, massive record, man. Like from iPhone little demos to these massive records. So
I have a video. I have a video on my website right at the bottom with all the other resources called How I Produce a Song. If you're ever interested in how it works or how I go about producing a song, that song that you're talking about is the highlight of that video. I show you the iPhone demo, and then I show you, and then I tell you what I did, all the instruments I put in, and then show you the final result. And that's not how I work with everybody. Not everybody sends me a song and say, do whatever you want, and I'll just come in to do the vocals. That does happen. That's not everybody. Sometimes I'm working with bands. Sometimes I'm working with an artist who does some of their own instruments, and it's a combination of the few things.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, that's what I love, that you don't work from templates. That's one of my big things too, is like, when an artist comes in, it's like, at Real and Freestone, like when an artist comes in, we really truly take it from the absolute bare bottom. Like how can we get your vision of your song? How can we come alongside of you to provide you with the color palette, with the tools, with making it your song, nobody else's. Like it'll never be the same another way. And it's so much fun. I love tracking myself. Like if I could choose to do anything in the world, I'd probably just track everything. I mean, like that's my favorite thing to do in the world. And yeah, I don't know how I got on that point. It's been a long day. I was like, one to another. But
and yeah, I think another attitude we have is definitely wanting you to be absolutely happy with your songs. Yeah. And when you leave and stuff too. And I'm not afraid to tell somebody to go, you need to keep writing. You need to grow a little bit more before you're ready. Like, you don't want to spend all this money on a record and then 5 months later write a better song and be like, man, I wish I'd waited, or I wish I'd had this song ready.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Oh, we see that a lot. Yeah. It's like, and if you're watching over there and you're watching the video, whether it's live or whether it's later and stuff like that too, I think it's so funny, Jason, one of the funniest things, and the biggest feedback, that I get, oh no, there we go. We're back. All right. One of the biggest feedback things that I've been getting is, they're like, oh, I love the vibe of the studio. And one of the big things that we do is we make sure that when you come in, recording can be the biggest, most intimidating process, probably
For sure.
ever, which is why it's going to be pretty cool when we talk about in the next 5 minutes what we're going to be doing to steward you guys in the next month for that. But recording can get really intimidating, and I love that Jason especially and me, we take a really laid back approach, but we'll still very intensive to make sure that we get you the product. But we love to teach you, and we love teaching on the whole process to make sure that you have a very clear picture of what's going to happen, what's going on, so that way you're informed. Because if you're informed and you feel better and you feel more comfortable, recording at a studio like ours and recording with engineers like us, I believe that you're going to get the best product you've ever had ever. If you feel like you're being heard, if you feel like everything's being taken care of, and just to be in a relaxed environment is one of like the biggest key pluses, that I can honestly say about the recording experience here at Real Recording Studio and working with Freestone Productions in that. So I don't know if you want to make any comments on that, Jason.
No, you're good.
Cool. So we have a lot of really cool things. Let's talk. We don't want to keep anybody too long. We kind of want to make this brief to people who haven't seen us face to face or haven't heard us before. We're going to be doing this more, so we're going to be going live a lot more. Just to give out some tips, tricks. Some interviews are coming up next month, and that's what I want to talk about. So every week, every Tuesday night in June, right, Jason? Every Tuesday night in June from 7 to
that's what we're hoping for.
8:30. That's what we're hoping for, yeah. From about 7 to 8:30, 9 o'clock. We're going to be taking you guys week by week for free. So we're doing a free class, free live stream, free seminar on the whole entire process of going through a record. So we're getting professionals to come in to talk about the whole process from start to finish. So what does it look like from the absolute base conception of a record before the even idea is there to the finished product of past mastering? What does it look like after that? So the first week we have is the process of recording a song starts with songwriting. Then from songwriting you go to production, and then from production you go to recording. From recording you go to mixing, and from mixing you go to mastering, and from mastering you go to distribution. So we have songwriting, production, recording, mixing, mastering, and then distribution. So each week in June, we're going to be having a person in for each section. So the first week is going to be songwriting. And Jason, I think we have a guy, one of your friends is going to be on there. He's pretty renowned for what he does. You want to talk about him a little bit?
I have a friend who I've known for 20 years. I've done a record with him. I've played with him in a band. His band, when we were young, gave my band our first, show, that kind of stuff. So his name is Johnny Levi, and he's pretty much just a songwriter. He plays out on a regular basis when he can too, like at bars and stuff like that. But he's just been writing most of his life and is working on selling songs and things like that. He's also a songwriting mentor as well.
Awesome. So we have him. He's going to be talking about songwriting, and I have somebody in the works for the production. So that we'll announce him a little bit later on. But he's a really, really amazing producer who's worked on a bunch of countless records. Who's a Grammy nominated, Latin Grammy nominated producer, and all of that good stuff. So. We're going to have for him, and we'll let you know who that is in the next week. And then when we go into the mixing, so that's week 2. So first week is songwriting. Second week is production. Third week is recording and mixing. So we're going to be doing both of those together because we believe that the recording and the mixing process have to be, every process has to be super, super tight knit. But the recording and the mixing process share a really, really cool dynamic. So Jason Reef and I are going to be talking about recording and mixing. So I'll be talking about the recording process, and Jason Reef is going to be talking about the mixing process. I love Jason Reef's mixes. I love what he does on the board. I love his choices are so cool. His just like little tips and tricks that he has in there that he's going to be talking about in the mixing process is really, really cool. And I think I have a couple of tips and tricks up my sleeve when it comes to recording. So, but I want to give them to you you guys. I want to give them to you guys so that those who are engineers out there, you know, it's not going to work for every record, you know, but maybe it'll work in one certain circumstance, you know, moving forward. Same thing with the
Yeah.
mixing too, you know. They're all beautiful. Every song is a beautiful, delicate flower, and it
And we
has to
love
be
having fun with them, so we love all the tips and tricks and getting the amazing sounds that we love. So
yeah, we'll talk about some really wacky things. I know I've done a bunch of wacky things to record the past couple of years. So, and then the final one we have with mastering. In mastering for the 4th week in June is going to be mastering engineer Pierre Solandi, who's based out of Easton. He is our mastering house engineer. Pierre Solandi is the boy.
Top-notch guy.
He is one of the most amazing, loving people I've probably ever met in my whole entire life. And not only that, but he just really loves to give back. I am so thankful. Pierre has been my mentor since I started and loves to teach, loves to give back. He's one of those guys too, where he has no tricks up his sleeves. Like, he's going to tell you what he does because he wants to pass it off to you know, mixing engineers, mastering engineers. So I'm really looking forward to June. So I want to run through that process one more time. So the first week in June, we're going to be talking about songwriting, which is the first process when it comes to a conception of a song. So the conception of the song, the birth of the song starts with songwriting, and we're going to learn about what that is. The second process in that is, okay, it's time to record. I want to record the song, but I need to make sure that it has all the elements put together, and that's the production part. So we have songwriting, production. We moved from production after that is done to recording, which is recording the actual elements, which is, you know, real studio. That's what we do, the main part of what we do there. The fourth part is mixing, which is, people don't understand that, so I can't wait to break that down with Jason Reef. So like, I can't wait to talk about that. And mastering, again, is one of those, like, oh, like, yeah, master the track, you know. And we're going to be talking about why it's really good to go to a mastering engineer and not throw it on a mastering website and stuff too. What is the difference from that? What is that from that? And then I think probably next month we'll talk about distribution a little bit and how to promote yourself. And I think we're probably going to talk with Jason Reef again and get you on, man. And we'll talk about a little bit about how artists can promote themselves. So yeah,
that sounds great.
That's what we got looking forward. As far as opening up the studio and for tours and stuff, please comment, please message us and let us know if you guys would like to book a tour and like a you know, a walkthrough with Jason Reef and me, Jason Wegford. You know, we don't have an official open date right now, so you know, because of the whole virus situation, we want to make sure that we're taking care of us and our families and of you too. We want to protect you and protect everybody involved in the process to make sure everybody's healthy, safe, and does the best that they absolutely can in life. So, you know, that's it. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be posting more. We're going to be posting more on those Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. From 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Moving forward for, you know, all of the master classes that we have going on. And again, they're free. They're free master classes. So please, guys, hit that reminder button when you see us planning to go live. We're going to be planning to go live right after this, so we're going to share that a lot. And yeah, join in with us. I mean, it's going to be really cool, fun conversation. You know, hopefully we'll be able to all be there in person and interact with one another in person, you know, in the next couple weeks. But if not, that's okay. I mean, this is pretty cool too. I think one of the coolest things with the virus is being able to do things from home. And Jason, I don't know if you can say anything to this, but when it comes to content and stuff like that, being able to be okay with the low quality, with just like going live like this, like just face to face, you know, with
the bed in the background.
Yeah, the bed in the background, my pink bed set. You know, you know, just having fun with this. So, you know, if you guys ever wanted to call us, I know Jason Reef again still has those free mixing tips. So send him your mixes, send him your thoughts and all that good stuff, because your music needs it. And it's not saying that out of a pompous thing. It's like we can always, you know, do better. And we can always have a fresh set of ears on the music so that what's in our hearts, the songs that are in our hearts, can be clearly communicated out and can be clearly thought through and clearly just worked through. So yeah, so that's that.
Totally.
So yeah,
Yeah, man.
Jason, you got any closing statements? Anything, man?
No, but you can find me on my website is www.freestoneproductions.com. That's FREESTONE. And I'm on Instagram as Freestone_Jason. And then on Facebook, you can just search for Jason Reef. And those are the main three places I do my stuff. If you want to get in contact with me, I can, even if we're not quite open for recording just yet, like we could still start working on your songs. I can give you some places where you could start improving them, how you can be practicing them to get them ready for the studio, all that stuff, and we can get you on the list. Like I have a whole list of people that I gotta contact when we're ready to go. So I'd
Yeah.
love to have you ready to go. And it might be pretty busy in the beginning, but it doesn't mean we're not going to give you individual attention for sure.
Yeah, that's so true. Like Jason said, we're still working from home. So the nice thing is I had to use my phone so I can show you guys this. I'll flip the camera around,
Oh,
get really close to my face. But we have like little home setups, like little nice little setups at our house and everything, So we're still working. We're still working for you and working with you guys. So if you guys have any work that needs to be done or whatever it is, Jason and I can help. And yeah, you can find Real Studios like here on the Facebook page, because you guys are, if you're watching, you're on our Facebook page, but at our website at realrecordingstudio.com or therealstudio.com, and our Instagram at Real Studio. And
we
you can
lost
find
you.
us.
Calling Jason. We can't see you anymore.
I think they can.
Or I can't.
Oh no, I can see you.
Don't worry about it.
And I think Switcher sees me, so I think we're okay. Sorry to leave you in the dark there, man. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. All those who are watching now live and all those who are watching after the fact too. Please drop a like, drop a share. Please, but most importantly, get in contact with us. Send us a message. Send us a Facebook message. Send us an Instagram message. Send us a text message. Send us an email. We're available, especially now. Like, please, we're available for you guys now. And if you guys were to ever need anything, please just give us a call, shoot us an email, all that good stuff, and we're there for you. So
we don't care
Freestone,
if you're recording yourself at home and need to know how to use your microphone better. Like, we're totally cool with that.
I've done that a bunch of times throughout this quarantine. So yes, please, if you want little tips and tricks, I just helped my friend out. Actually, I won't name his name, but one of my friends, actually, I was just over talking with him the other day, and he was recording and didn't know that the mic was side address, not front address. So he was recording the wrong way. And I told him about that, and he did his next recording project, and the vocals sound 20 times better, and it's not to say, oh, like, you should have known. We're all at different stages, guys. We're all at different parts in the process, and all of it's okay, because you never know. When you experiment and do different things, you'll be really surprised with the outcome sometimes. So like sometimes there's some really happy accidents that happen. So.
And you know what? One thing I love to say is there really isn't competition in this space, because everybody will do something differently. Like if you go to one producer, he might be better suited for your songs because he does things a certain way, or like I might put something in a song that no one else would have thought of. It's like it's so subjective that it's just cool to see what other people are doing. And if we're helping each other make better music, we're lifting up our music scene. I think we're helping everybody.
Yeah, everybody's helped. Everybody's, we're all in this together. Like seriously, the cliche stands true in the Lehigh Valley. We need to work together and bridge the gap on a lot of things as far as genre-wise, as far as recording studios, because we all do it differently. And what might, I might take on a project, or Jason, you might take on a project that somebody else could do better, and we need to be able to help out and work with one another on all that kind of stuff. We're all in this together. Yeah. Lehigh Valley is supposed to be a nice, loving home family community, and I'm praying and hoping that Real Studio and Freestone Productions, will become a place where artists can just hang out, come and just have a safe space to even just hang out, grab a cup of coffee with us, ask a couple questions, and hopefully record some absolutely killer records moving forward.
We've got something really special. I feel like we have a really special music community here that not a lot of small cities have, and we just want to be here to foster that for sure.
Yeah. it's going to be the next Nashville. I said that like 2 years ago, and it's looking like it might be. So we'll find out. So again, guys, thank you guys so much for joining. I know I said that like 15 times, but I actually mean it this time. You know, this time we're gonna hop off. But catch us on Facebook, Instagram. You know, check out the links below. And again, please jump in. Be ready. Tuesdays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. in June. We want to help you. We want to take you through the process. We want to better everybody in the community because, you know, how awesome would it be if the whole Lehigh Valley is pumping out the greatest hits that have ever come out? You know, who knows? I don't know, but we'll see.
We'll see.
So, guys,
Never know.
thank you so much for tuning in. Jason, thank you so much for joining us here. And guys.